What's up, YouTube? I wanted to talk a little bit about last night's episode of The Walking Dead, the season finale, my impressions, and then at the end, tell you who I think Negan will end up killing. Overall, I thought it was a great episode, but I'm pretty much in awe of all the episodes. I enjoy all of them, even the ones that some people consider filler. I've enjoyed every episode, every season, but I would say that this season was by far the most exciting. I read the comics, so I will spoil some things if you do not read the comics, and you should probably stop watching, because I'm going to reference it, and if there's something you don't want to hear, I don't want to discuss it. So anyway, the episode was really good. It's always a great thing when we get a 90-minute episode instead of the normal 60. Everybody knew that Negan was going to make an appearance, but I was disappointed that they didn't show the savage, ruthless entrance like was done in issue 100 of the comic. In the comic, he bashes Glenn's brains in, who's still trying to speak as he's getting his skull crushed. Do I think Glenn will be the one that Negan chooses in the TV world? Initially, I would say yeah, but we've got quite a few months to think this over, and I think there was a lot of redirect by the writers to fake you out and make you think you knew who he was going to kill. And what I mean by that is, okay, there's a lot of people that think they did a poll on Talking Dead. I think Eugene came in at number 2, who they thought was going to get killed, Glenn first and Daryl third. Well, I think it's too easy to pick Eugene just because he had that heart-to-heart with the group and Abraham in particular, and he handed over the instructions how to reload ammo, and that's the easy way out to pick him. I think he's good. I think Eugene survives. I don't think it'll be Daryl. I've heard people say, well, they didn't show who he killed because they're not sure who they want it to be, and they want to get feedback from the fans before they make a decision. But that, and then Daryl's got that motorcycle show coming up. It starts in June. Well, they're gonna start filming in late April, early May, so that'll be before that TV show comes on. So that's irrelevant, and you can throw that out the window. I think Daryl's okay. I think Dwight basically saved him by shooting him, I guess, in the shoulder, and that probably saved him. What I would have liked to have seen, and again, I'm not trying to criticize, I'm just thankful for the show. I think it's a great show. I really enjoy it. It's probably my third favorite show behind Breaking Bad and The Sopranos all time, and it's just a joy to watch. But if I was in the writing room, Negan makes this big entrance, and there's a blueprint already out there what we expect, so you got to take it to another level. Plus, this season's been lights out, a bullet train going through walls. You can't come to a crawl at the end of the last episode at the end of the season. What I would have liked to see, that's metaphor, I really wouldn't like to see, but I'd have liked to see 2 people die. Like, for example, I think that the writers could have done a really good job if when Glenn got out of line, when Negan was talking to Maggie, maybe he turns around and smacks him with his bat, or Dwight puts an arrow in his head or something, and then just gives a speech about that's what happens if you don't play by the rules. They kind of went verbatim from the comic, like when he was talking to Carl, talking about raising a future serial killer, and you killed a lot of my men, then I sent more men to kill your men, and you kill those men. That's not cool. That's really not cool. That's all taken right out of the comics, which is not a problem. That's cool. But maybe if they'd have killed Glenn like that, and then Negan puts together, the connection between Maggie and Glenn, and knowing that he killed Glenn, that he then smashes Maggie's head in, plus she's pregnant, would really bring the heat that's desired on Negan, because he is a pretty violent guy, but he's a pretty likable guy. He's definitely got the yin and yang going for him. He's funny, he's calculating, he's spontaneous, but his impact should be that we absolutely despise this guy, and I don't think they got that across. I think they casted the right guy. Morgan is an amazing actor and really will blow this role up, but because the way they did it, where we don't know definitively who dies, I don't think they can get away with killing Glenn, because it'd be kind of letdown, It's got to be something shocking that nobody expected, and that's where I think the redirect and the fake outs come into play. People are going to think Eugene's the one, and I don't think it'll be Eugene. Other people think it's going to be Daryl. I don't think it's going to be Daryl. Basically, going in this episode, I always felt the two untouchables were Rick and Carl. Carl's kind of the future of the franchise based on how long they go with it, and then Rick is Rick, and it's not time yet if they ever decide to go down that road. I was leaning towards Glenn going into it, and immediately after the episode I thought, well, I still believe it's going to be Glenn, because if you watch, I watched the whole Morgan ending twice, when he's going around playing the Meeny Miny Mo game, you'll notice as they show each character in Rick's group, the bat is brushing, going across their face as he's reciting the Meeny Miny Mo. But if you notice, when it got to Glenn, two things happened. One, Glenn dropped onto all four. I don't know if that's foreshadowing or not. And then also the bat stopped at Glenn. I don't know if you picked up on that. And then I thought, oh man, it is going to be Glenn. It's going to be Glenn. But then again, it comes back to that redirect. I think if they would have made the big impact where either he killed two people and would totally make us despise this guy, like, I think it would have been perfect if it was Glenn and Maggie. And boy, he would get a lot of heat for killing Maggie because she's pregnant. Or he kills somebody, and then we also lose Carol, and she gets shot up, and she dies from loss of blood, even though Morgan kills her killer, the injured savior, which, by the way, I thought was a highlight of the whole thing when Morgan put all 6 rounds into the guy. He's definitely moved on. His handicapped, and will kill if needed, regardless of his convictions. So I think they really needed to do something dramatic like that. I thought maybe it would take two people, two characters that are important to pass, and obviously we got the blackout at the end, and we don't know. Now, who do I think is the one that's going to be chosen? And I'm leaning this way, and I really believe this. When they come back after 7 months, 6 months in October, they have to shock the hell out of us because of the weight. And I really think that person's going to be Michonne. Why Michonne? Well, there's a couple reasons. Off camera, outside the show, she's behind a big Broadway show that she's involved with, and she's got other endeavors that she's involved with, and that might be a reason why she would step away from the show. Also, she's involved with Rick, and as we see historically with Rick's timeline, any woman that gets involved with him in the TV show doesn't stick around. Granted, in the comic, Andrea is with him, and she's living and thriving, whereas she's dead in the TV show. and vice versa. Carol's dead in the comic, committed suicide, but she's a badass in the show. So I really think it's going to be Michonne. I think that'll be the shocker that pays off, that will make us forgive, kinda, in the back of our mind, for not showing who he killed and savagely killing him, like beating his brains out, at least, or her brains out, and not so much showing him doing it, have the body off camera, but showing the results of the carnage that he unleashed with his Bat Lucille. Tell me what you guys think. I can't wait till October. I really like and enjoy the show. Also, I wanted to add, it seems like they're picking up the pace going into next season, because Carol and Morgan linked up with the Kingdom people, and they're going to go back to the Kingdom, and they're going to meet Ezekiel and his tiger. Hopefully, it'd be ignorant not to put the tiger in there. They can pull it off, with CG now. So we're going to meet Ezekiel in the Kingdom a lot sooner than we did in the comic. I think in the comic, when did he show up at 118 or something? And basically, in comparison, show the comic, we're at issue 100 at the end of season 6. So I think they're going to speed that up. I think they're going to get through the all-out war. Probably the first half of season 7 will have a cliffhanger at the hilltop where Rick gets shot by Dwight or something. I don't know how that's going to play out. And then in the second half of next season, I don't see how they can really drag out the time lapse and the harmony shared among the Kingdom, Hilltop, and Sanctuary, and Alexandria, with Negan locked up in the jail cell at Alexander, because you got the Whispers out there. So I think that the Whispers are probably going to come into play towards the end of next season. And then, of course, in the comics right now, we got Eugene talking to somebody on the other end of the radio, and really curious to who they are, and if that's leading into the ultimate ending of the comics, like issue 200. I hope not. I pray not. I hope Robert Kirkman runs with this for as long as possible, because they got a special vehicle, a true legacy in the comic book world, where Comic Gold, what they got a show that's #1 in viewing. They've got what else they got? They got the after show talk show. That's crazy, and they're the rule breakers. They're the ones that started that, and now you got like Better Call Saul, Bates Motel. You got other programs that are following that and incorporating that into building their audience. And the Walking Dead, was the innovators of that. The ones that started it. So I don't know, but it seems like it's going to be picking up the pace, and we're going to be introduced to the Whispers by the end of next season. Somehow hinted at it, Alpha and her group, but we'll see. But I definitely think Michonne will be the one that's chosen. I think that will shock a lot of people. She's like the Boba Fett of The Walking Dead. She's a badass, but how many badasses can you have? Because you got Jesus, you got Abraham, who's still around, who's already dead in the comics. The girl got killed with the arrow, which was supposed to be Abraham, if they're following the comics to a T. But as you know, the show would deviate from the timeline, but it always comes back, but it tends to deviate to mix it up, which is what they need to do, keep us guessing. But I think they're totally doing a fake out with Eugene, and I think they're going to do a fake out with Glenn. And the only way I think Glenn dying is shocking and mouth dropping is if Maggie gets killed with him, because she heads Hilltop later on, So tell me what you guys think. Give me your opinions. I think Daryl and I think everybody else is safe, and Michonne's the one that is going to take it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Later.